feel you've been pledged in a way that you don't understand? Do you notice certain patterns in your life that you think is generational? Are you a first son of a family, a traditional and cultural family, or even a first daughter of a family, and you think things are not going the way you envisaged or the way you have planned, and there's this pattern you've been asked to carry on to the next generation? Fellas, let me say this plainly today. You did not swear the oath. You did not make the covenant. You were not present when the allegiance was pledged. No. So why are you living like you did? Why are you living like you were the one that pledged that allegiance? Why? Enough is enough, people. Across Africa, and especially among firstborn sons, and sometimes first daughters, there are people living under generational bondage, not because of their own choices, but because of oaths their parents or ancestors took before they were even born. Oh yes. Oaths to traditions, oaths to deities, oaths to traditional rulers. They took oaths to secret cults and ancestral system. Many of these oaths were made before you were born. And today, they are destroying and subjugating lives. Fellows, let's stop pretending this is not happening, because in many families, the firstborn is not just a child. They are a carrier of ancestral responsibilities, a carrier of unspoken debts, a carrier of traditions they did not choose, a carrier of spiritual, cultural, and social obligations that no longer serve them in any way, but they are being obligated to carry it along. They are told this is how it has always been. From one generation to another, this is how we do in the families, in the family line, it's the family culture. You need to continue because your mother did it, your mother, your ancestors, your father, and your great-great-grandparents, they did it. That's what we are told. So you must continue the lineage. You cannot question this. If you refuse to continue the tradition, something bad will happen to you. Something bad will happen to this family. So, fear becomes the prison. Yes. People grow up afraid to ask questions, afraid to refuse rituals they know nothing about, afraid to walk away or choose their own path in life. People are afraid to choose differently from what they've been stationed to do. Not because it is right, not because they want to do it or it's by choice, but because silence has been normalized. Allow me to say something, fellas. Many of these oaths you are keeping today worked for your ancestors, but not for you today. No. Your ancestors made choices that favored them in their own time. They did what they believed was necessary to survive, to gain power, to ensure or secure land. They did things for protection, for control, and for status. But that favored them in their own era, in their own time. And all that favored them is now destroying you. What gave them leverage? Excuse me. So what gave them leverage is costing your peace. What helped them survive is not demanding your future as payment. And here is the truth no one wants to say. A covenant that destroys the next generation is no longer sacred. No, it is not. Many firstborn sons are emotionally exhausted. They are spiritually confused, financially stagnant, afraid to strive. They are carrying on guilt they cannot even name or fathom. Oh yes. Not because they are weak, but because they were assigned a role and not given a choice. Some first daughters too are trapped in expectations of sacrifice, obedience, and silence. They are told they are special. But special often means burdened. Oh yes. Chosen but never free. You may be asking, why do people stay to keep fueling their legends? Fear! Oh yes, fear is the reason they keep fueling it. Fear of spiritual retaliation. Fear of curses being placed upon them and their children. Fear of being ostracized. Fear of being blamed. If anything goes wrong in that family. But let me ask you something, people. How long will fear be allowed to rule our destiny, or to rule your destiny and that of your children and future generation? Huh? How long? How long will you suffer quietly so that the systems you did not choose can remain unchallenged? How long? Silence is not loyalty. Endurance is not honor. And suffering is not proof of righteousness. No, they are not. My people, we are no longer living in the time of your ancestors or our ancestors. This is a new generation. It is a new era. It is a new world and new consciousness. Okay? You are allowed to ask questions. Does this system still serve me? Does this culture still align with my life? Why must I suffer for agreements I never signed? Why must I continue in an agreement I was not part of? Huh? Breaking away is not rebellion. It is discernment. Okay, my lovelies? Refusing inherited bondage is not wickedness. It is self-preservation. Oh yes. You are not dishonoring your ancestors by choosing life. No. You are honoring yourself by refusing destruction from systems you did not create or you did not sign up for. Okay? My lovelies, you are allowed to refuse what does not fit your values or your worldview. You are allowed to refuse it. Your parents took the decisions that suit them in their own time. This is your time to take the decisions that suits you and the ones that you want for your own generation, your children and their children's children. Okay? Again, you are allowed to choose differently. You are allowed to walk away. You are allowed to define your own path and how you want to live your life. Your destiny does not belong to a shrine because your father or your mother was involved with it. No. Your destiny does not belong to a secret court whereby you were used as allegiance to that court. No. Your destiny does not belong to a traditional ruler as a slave with all your household. No. Your destiny does not also belong to a family oath or a tradition that no longer works for you. Your life your life belongs to you, and you alone will paddle it to where you want to. Again, your life belongs to you, and you alone will paddle it to how and where you want it shaped for your children and their children. Okay? And no tradition or culture has the right to demand your ruin as proof of loyalty or allegiance. Hell no. No. Remember, people, your parents did what they believed was right for them. They did what worked best for them. Okay? But what worked for them should not be your own downfall. You did not swear the oath. Again, you did not sign that covenant. You did not agree to a life of fear and limitation. This is a new day, fellows. It is a new day. It is time to break generational allegiance. Generational allegiance that destroys. It is time to question traditions that enslave. It is time to stop confusing heritage with bondage. Freedom is not disrespect, it is survival. Oh yes. And your life is worth protecting. It is. So fellows, if this message resonates with you, please share. Share not to attack culture, but to protect lives. Because silence has cost us too much suffering. It is time to speak up. It is time to question any and everything that does not seem right today. Oh yes. So fellows, until I see you all again, be kind to yourself and be kind to others. Stay strong and stay free.